Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We got some big breaking news. As things are escalating across the board, Russia says that Donald Trump is trying to negotiate peace plans, while the Biden and Harris administration is seeking to escalate the conflict in Ukraine. We also have it where Russia is warning of nuclear retaliation over Ukraine nukes. Like, this is getting very serious. This says that if the West transfers nuclear weapons to Ukraine, it will be equated to an attack on Moscow, providing grounds for a nuclear response. You can't make this stuff up. Like, they are literally, Biden is trying to escalate this into a bad spot. On top of this, with Trump's new tariffs, the migrant caravans that were heading toward the U.S. southern border have now been stopped by the Mexican president after Trump's tariff threats. We are literally seeing things we've never seen before. Trump's new tariffs on Mexico and Canada are some of the biggest changes yet. This is like bombshell news. 25% on all goods coming into the United States. And this is the type of power you know is real. That within 12 hours, everybody, 12 hours, the Prime Minister of Canada jumps on a call with Trump. The Mexican president calls Trump and says, hey, whatever you need us to do, we'll protect the southern border. That caravan of 1,500 people coming to the southern border, we'll go ahead and stop them. This is how crazy it can get if you get the right president in place who has the right power to do what needs to be done. On top of that, Trump's border czar Homan is now at the southern border and has made the statement, if you get in our way, we will put you in jail. We are going to get the illegals out. This is all the true power of the United States. For the past 4 years, they have easily let in through 20 million illegal immigrants. And remember, those immigrants came through Canada and Mexico. But now they're going to feel the wrath of the United States for allowing all that craziness to happen. We also showed you that Russia is now preparing that if they have to do nuclear, they will go nuclear. This is how bad it's getting with the Biden-Harris administration. It's all feeding the industrial war complex. On top of that, mayors across the United States are now saying that they're going to set aside taxpayer funds to give money to illegal immigrants to help them fight Trump's deportation with lawyers. I'm not making this stuff up. We got the receipts. We got the video evidence, everybody. We got a ton of breaking news today. Just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. Thank you to all of our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so I can serve you every day with the top news. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button. It really does help the channel and the videos. And thank you to all of our members of the channel, the TrueLife News fam. Let's go. If you want to join the family, the link is in the description to join, as well as to follow me on X. And thank you to everybody who's given a super chat donation. We are so grateful for your support. Guys, I got a special thing to show you about Samaritan's Purse and what they're doing for the hurricane victims. You're going to love it. This channel gives back. I love it. Appreciate you all. Love you all. We're going to jump right into this news because it is getting serious. Check it out.
We hereby demand that they use this power, and until such time that they do, it is time for them to pay a very big price. Canada, Mexico, every other country in the world, friend and foe, has now been put on notice. The days of weak, feckless foreign policy, open borders is over. Here with reaction, the man that President Trump appointed to fix the border, Tom Homan, along with someone who, frankly, has played a very big role in bringing attention to this security disaster, Texas Governor Greg Abbott. And they're going to be together all day tomorrow. Tom, you heard this mayor out there in Colorado. I want to get your reaction to it. And I want you to be clear about who has jurisdiction, the federal government or state and local governments. And if you're a sanctuary state or city, are you breaking the law?
You're absolutely breaking law. All you have to do is look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see these breaking law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a statute. It's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. And what it says is, it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country. We got to save American lives. And I find it shocking that any mayor of a city would say, President Trump's been clear. We want to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. I find it hard to believe that any mayor or governor would say they don't want public safety threats removed from their neighborhoods. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on in Denver, but we're going to go and we're going to fix it. If he don't want to fix it, if he don't want to protect his communities, President Trump and ICE will.
So you will be going into Colorado, Illinois, New York, California, and you are going to uphold the law of the land. That's your commitment. It doesn't matter what these elected politicians threaten or say that they're going to do.
We're going to enforce the law, period. And they're not going to stop us.
You know, Governor Abbott, I watched you with great frustration do everything imaginable in your power, come up with idea after idea after idea, because you were bearing the brunt of this from the very beginning.
Yep.
And you tried to put up barriers in the beginning, and then you tried to work the courts in the beginning. Then you started flying people out of your state to the sanctuary cities and states, and then all of a sudden, people like Mayor Eric Adams, to his credit, he finally got there, realized maybe this is not such a good idea, wide open borders, because we can't control what's going on here. How frustrating has that been for you?
Well, listen, it's very frustrating when we have a country and a president and an administration that are fighting back against the law, inviting all this illegal immigration into our country, bringing those people in who are committing those rapes, those murders, and crushing families across the entire country. So I'm thankful that we finally have a president, President Trump, who's going to enforce the laws of the United States of America. I'm thankful that we have Tom Homan as the incoming border czar, who's going to help execute those laws and enforce those laws and make sure that we get back to restoring order. But also, I'm thankful, especially this time of the year, what Tom's going to help me out with tomorrow. I'm thankful for the National Guard troops who've been serving on our border for the past 4 years under the Biden administration, erecting the barriers, repelling and denying entry to people trying to enter the country illegally. Those are men and women who deserve the respect of the entire United States of America. And we're going to go feed them Thanksgiving dinner, Thanksgiving lunch, and show them the gratitude that they deserve.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let me ask you, I had Senator Rand Paul, Tom, on my radio program today, and he thinks it's a matter of police and ICE resources, not the military, that can be used in this effort. What is your answer to that? Constitutionally, he says there's a problem.
We need DOD's assistance. Look, we got millions of people we need to find. And we got a lot of criminal aliens. We got a lot of national security threats. We need to find these people. It is, I think, DOD, this is a national security vulnerability. I think it's the biggest national security vulnerability we've seen since 9/11 because of the over 2 million gotaways. We already arrested a record number of people off the terrorist watch list crossing the border. We know 2.2 million people paid more to get away. They didn't want to be vetted, didn't want to be fingerprinted. That scared the hell out of everybody. So DOD's helped on the border on numerous administrations. We need their help on the Trump administration. They don't have to be out arresting people, but they can certainly help us with transportation. They can help us staff up groups. They can help us do some of the infrastructure building. They can help us some of the logistics. We need DOD's help, and President Trump's committed. DOD's helping us, and we're going to do that. So, again, President Trump's a tough president, and DOD's assistance is going to help us be more successful in the country. It's just sad that Rand Paul would say that. I think we all need to be on the same page.
Yes.
Again, we all should be on the same page. We're talking about the biggest national security vulnerability we've seen in this nation. We all should be on the same page. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, everybody.
Well,
guys, I'm telling you, like the amount of force that's coming from the Trump administration to come in and clean house like never before. We just showed you this. Like, how amazing is it? Migrant caravans not reaching the border, says the Mexican president after Trump's tariff threats. But then it's like we've got Mexico in place, Mexican president in place. Canada, Trudeau is now getting in place. But listen to this. This is a mayor, and there's a lot of mayors like this across the United States. Listen to what he says. This is heartbreaking because I think of how many Americans need help right now, but these people are electing to step over Americans' needs to help out illegal immigrants. Check this out.
In many regards, this election cycle did not go as I had hoped.
In response to Trump's national immigration policies, Frederick Mayor Michael O'Connor pledging to carve out space in his local budget for a legal advocacy fund, which would use tax dollars to pay undocumented immigrants attorneys' fees as they fight deportation.
Ensuring they have the legal support they need to stand strong and remain in this community they have chosen to call home.
O'Connor explaining his intention is to allocate the money to organizations already providing similar legal services, helping them expand the number of people they're able to support, although he's still determining the exact dollar amount to set aside. Some residents we spoke with supportive of the end goal.
I believe a lot of non-immigrant people also contribute to the country as well.
But all of them against their tax dollars footing the bill.
I'm torn.
I don't like the idea. I'd rather our taxpayer money go towards American citizens.
You know, you break the law, it's just what happens. Nobody helped me pay for my attorney fees when I break the law. So why should we be paying for theirs out of taxpayer money?
But this comes...
I'm telling you guys, that's like, this is it's the divide right now. Like, people are so torn because of what Biden has forced for Trump and Homan to do to clean up America. But I'll tell you this, on this channel, look at this. Remember how last month we gave to Samaritan's Purse to help out our brothers and sisters in that were going through the hurricane disaster? Samaritan's Purse has just announced it will build and deliver over 1,000 homes to WNC. Like, I love this. We gave to this channel. You gave to that cause, Samaritan's Purse, and now we're helping build 1,000 homes to help people get back to a normal livelihood. I love it. But more things are coming out, guys. I'm telling you, it's like things are just coming out of the woodworks now that Trump is getting closer to be president. Check this out.
Have them driven before you. Some of you will get that. Speaking of crushing your enemies, Donald Trump is not messing around, folks. The Roger Scare, F around and find out video, I wish Canada and Mexico would have listened to him. China as well. Again, I'm not a fan of tariffs as an economic weapon because you wind up getting in a tariff war. However, if he's going to use them, escalate to de-escalate, which is the strategy, Donald Trump escalate them to de-escalate the economic warfare, then go for it. And if you're going to do it to crush the drug trade and illegal immigrant traffic across the border, which is killing us and our economy. We have sex offenders, we have drug dealers, we have murderers here. You have the numbers, I put them on the show. And it's not just a few, it's hundreds of thousands, right? Which is just destroying our economy and our public safety situation, then Donald Trump's going to fight back. He's sending a message right now. If you think this guy came into office to play cutesy time, folks, as you know, cutesy time is what? In the chat. What is up with cutesy time? That's what the people's elbow happened to cutesy time. Cutesy time walked in the ring, Ric Flair style. And what happened? The people's elbow dropped on cutesy time's ass. Because it's over. Because it's over.
Love it.
Here's Brett Baer covering Donald Trump's threat to drop tariffs on him. How did you, wait, play that again. I didn't even know you, can we make that a Giphy? Jake, that Tapper saying cutesy time is over. Yes, it is, Jake. Cutesy time is over. I love that, how you dropped that in the corner. I did not know that was going to happen. Here is Brett Baer on Fox last night covering his bombshell announcement. Donald Trump threatening to tariff Mexico if they don't clean up the situation. Check this out.
The Trump transition is going on. In the meantime, the president-elect is weighing in on what's going to happen on January 20th. Just moments ago on a Truth Social, the president-elect wrote this. As everyone is aware, thousands of people are pouring through Mexico and Canada, bringing crime and drugs at levels never seen before. Right now, a caravan is coming from Mexico, composed of thousands of people. It seems to be unstoppable in its quest to come through our currently open border. On January 20th, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all the illegal aliens stop this invasion of our country. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long-simmering problem. We hereby demand that they use this power. Until such time they do, it is time for them to pay a very big price. He went on to add that he is also adding 10% to all products from China if they don't stop sending fentanyl and products, drug products, through Mexico. That is in addition to the tariffs already on China.
Wow.
How many times I got to tell you cutesy time is over?
Cutesy time is over.
Just listen to Jake. He's told you. Tell him one more time, Jake.
Cutesy time is over.
Thank you, Jake. I love the little laugh at the end, too. They didn't listen to us. They didn't listen to us. Do you think this guy's dick around, Trump? Do you think he's kidding? Now, I want you to notice, if you see the True Social, which Brett Baer read, if you put it up on the screen, he's very clear here.
Yes.
That they have an opportunity. So for all the people out there, again, as a pure economic issue, I can't say that I'm not a huge fan of tariffs because a tariff is a tax. However, if you're going to use it as a weapon and cut other taxes to de-escalate and say, I will do this if, as he says right there, then yeah, I can be convinced, especially if it's going to be used to shut down this disaster, the drug and illegal immigrant trade across the border. They're done folks. They are done screwing around. And I'm all in on ending cutesy time right now. And that's why the great media meltdown of 2024, which will flow into 2025, continues. This has to be one of the greatest clips you will ever see. Do you guys know Axios, A-X-I-O-S? It was started, I believe, by a couple Politico people, I think, who left. I'm not really sure. I got to look that up. But either way, it's like a commie website, like Politico Playbook. And what they do is they send out a morning email that I always read because I like to, read what commies are up to so they don't do commie stuff and, take away my freedom and liberty and things like that. So Axios has a pretty good morning email if you want to get into commies' mind. Here is the CEO of Axios in the great media meltdown continuing. Jim Vanderhei losing his marbles that we're the media now. And I want you to keep in mind, I've discussed this before. The concept of an extinction burst. If you ever take psychology classes, you ever put $1 in a Coke machine, you want to get the can of Coke and it doesn't come out, it's probably like $20 now with inflation, right? What'd you do? You kick the machine because you put in $1, you get a reward to Coke and the reward doesn't come out. And what do? You gauge in this extinction burst. You start kicking the hell out of it as if it's going to make a difference. That is what's going on now. The media would put $1 in the public consumption machine. Russia collusion. The reward would be everything. We hate Trump. He's a Russian spy. It's not working anymore. Nobody believes these idiots. And they are freaking them out. Listen to this guy lose his marbles. You can't be journalists. We're journalists. Even though we got every freaking story wrong and we're a bunch of third grade level intellect morons. And you guys have been right about everything. You better listen to us, even though we've been bullshitting you the whole time. Check this out.
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day or X today saying we are the media. You are the media. My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. You having
TrueLife News is the media.
You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
Yeah, maybe you should try the hard work. Maybe you should try that once in a while. And so this to be clear,
guys, I'm telling you, they're melting down like never before. And it's hilarious. You know why? Because they know, this is the thing. People can see through the BS. You get the sense when somebody's lying to you. You can feel it. And if it happens enough times, then you know that you just don't trust them anymore. But this is where TrueLife News, we bring you the truth. Check this out. Israel officially approves ceasefire deal with Lebanon. This is amazing. It's insane how Elon Musk and Trump have been talking with these people to help bring peace to the Middle East. But then you've got right here, which I showed you earlier, Russia says Donald Trump is trying to negotiate peace plans, while the Biden-Harris administration is seeking to escalate the conflict in Ukraine. Well, guess what? Guess what else is happening? Russia is they're trying to defend themselves, and I'm not defending Russia. I just want all the war to end. But Russia has now recruited thousands of Yemeni, hopefully I said that right, men to fight in Ukraine. Why? Because they are escalating this. The Biden-Harris administration is continuing to escalate, and it is not good. It is putting the U.S. and the entire world in a really bad spot. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said, why putting these traitors in jail? Why not send them with the border with all these criminals too? Hey, I agree. If you're going to put people that are not U.S. citizens before American citizens, that's treason. That you cannot do that. You are literally spitting in the face of your own brothers and sisters. And again, too, more of Trump's cabinet is coming out. More of, like, Trump is not holding back. He's pushing through to get the right people in place. Check it out.
Trump's winter White House has become the center of the political universe. Mar-a-Lago has been buzzing for weeks while allies, cable hosts, and billionaires make the pilgrimage. Every nearby hotel's packed to the gills, and Secret Service agents outnumber the waitstaff at RH Rooftop. Elon's even made it his new home. And all that action's juiced real estate prices. Mid-range homes in Palm Beach are now going from 10 to 15 million. Mid-range. Trump's got all the momentum, so the media is trying to pit him and Musk against each other.
As Trump prepares for his second term, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, has been close by his side. But as Musk learns how to navigate Trump world, he's also driving many headlines across social media and other non-traditional media outlets. Like Musk walking a fine line at risk of breaking one of the cardinal rules of those in Trump's orbit. Don't outshine the boss.
While the media is trying to drive a wedge between Elon and Trump, Musk's flirting with the idea of buying MSNBC.
Woo!
Not sure if he's serious, but he's making liberals crazy.
Buy it.
The media is in a state of shock because Trump's getting high marks. Most Americans want Trump's tariffs, and an even larger majority want mass deportations. 55% of the country's happy with the Trump winning the election. That means even some Harris voters are happy. Trump's transition's getting rave reviews, and his cabinet picks are popular. He's basically putting together a coalition government with the most ideologically diverse cabinet in American history. It's filled with former Democrats, union backers, hedge fund guys, and border hawks. It's making it hard for the legacy media to hate.
Yesterday morning, my Nick says,
Right.
wait, Scott Bessent is gay?
He is.
And married?
Yes.
And has children.
Yes, he does.
Yesterday, when I brought this up, you know, if he's confirmed, would be the highest ranking out LGBT person ever to serve, to be appointed and confirmed by the United States Senate. And I said,
Right.
you know, I'm kind of conflicted about it. It's Trump. I'm kind of conflicted about this.
The media is conflicted because Trump tapped a handsome gay billionaire for Treasury. He's got bright women, Hispanics, African Americans, Jews, and journalists. All the people the media claimed Trump was going to put in camps, he put in his cabinet.
Yep.
But some on the fringe with dictator fetishes are still fantasizing about handcuffs. Listen.
Senator-elect, when you hear that language, how concerned are you that you will be targeted by President-elect Trump and his second administration?
Well, that's dictator talk. That's how autocrats talk. They want to make their political opposition an enemy, describe them in those terms. But look, I'm not concerned about myself. I'm going to do my job. I'm not going to have his threats intimidate me from doing so. But anytime you have someone, particularly someone who's going to become president of the United States, fawning over dictators, emulating their language, attacking the press, undermining our institutions, yeah, we should be concerned about it.
Shifts into role play. We get it. We don't judge. But what happens when the roles are reversed?
Hey, Mr. Schiff, are you ready for President Trump to make America great again? Thank you. Are you afraid he's going to throw you in prison? Are you afraid he's going to throw you in prison, Mr. Schiff?
Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna joins me now. Congresswoman, what is Adam Schiff like? I know he's a senator now, or he's going to be a senator. What is he like when you see him in the halls?
You know, Jesse, I'm sure you remember this, but I actually was the member of Congress that censured Adam Schiff. And the first time when it wasn't successful, Adam walked out. He had all these reporters around him, and he said, you know, I've survived these MAGA extremists. And I rolled by on my very busted foot on a scooter, very pregnant, said, Adam, I'm going to get you next week. And the following week, I censured him. So he's not a man with a strong backbone. In fact, he looks at the ground whenever I walk past him.
Oh, he looks at the ground when you walk by. That explains everything about Adam Schiff. All right, so you got this cabinet. It's exciting. You're a Florida girl. This is all going down in Palm Beach. Why is this transition that Trump's orchestrating so different than the first time?
You know, I think right now there's so many more people, especially converts, that realize that the Democrat ideology and party simply wasn't working out, not just for them, but for the American people. And so you are right. He's created somewhat of a coalition government, but of people that have great ideas that people are excited to vote for, that we're seen as political outsiders. And, you know, we always joke here in Florida, but that Mar-a-Lago is the Southern White House. And so there's a lot of people looking forward to Christmas parties there. But more importantly, I think it's important to note that President Trump is bringing in a lot of people, not necessarily relying on the help of the federal government, because it is so broken, to head up his transition. So he's operating out of Florida. But as you're seeing, we are making Washington, D.C. and America, Florida. So I look forward to everything.
How do you interpret the media not really understanding how they're supposed to cover this White House and cabinet? I mean, it's incredibly ideologically diverse. It's racially diverse. There's tons of women in very high-powered positions. They can't seem to wrap their heads around it.
You know, it's everything that they claimed Trump was. He's shown that they were liars, but also, too, it's showing the American people that you can have someone that genuinely cares about this country, that could have literally stayed at home and played golf for the rest of their life, chose to do the right thing, which is fight for this country, and really bring everyone on board. And I think the media is really struggling with the fact that right now you have these different social media platforms where President Trump has been able to leverage and get the truth out there. So they're having to play ball, which is exactly why they're having to report the truth now, which is surprisingly refreshing.
It is. Also refreshing. Thanksgiving right around the corner. Have a happy Thanksgiving, Anna Paulino.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's so funny to say that the news networks actually have to report the news instead of just opinions and propaganda, but a lot of things are changing, just like this. In a meeting with senior military officers, this is from Elon Musk, officers today, they told me that it now takes longer to renovate stairs, 24 months in the Pentagon, than it took to build the whole Pentagon, 16 months in the 1940s. You want to talk about government corruption and contractors and money flowing? Right here. How in the world could it take longer to renovate stairs than it could to build the entire Pentagon? We've got something else for you too, but real quick, what's new? Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go, and B1 Sly One. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. Y'all show them some love, and show Andy some love in the chat, everybody. And Sarah, happy birthday to you. So not only you got Trump, you got Elon, you got Vivek, who are working really, really hard to not only take care of the government, but you also got Trump right here, Trump and Robert F. Kennedy, who are literally, like, it's Trump, it's Robert F. Kennedy, it's Mike Johnson, and it's Elon Musk that are talking with Russia, trying to de-escalate the war with Russia and Ukraine to try to keep them from getting into a world war and using nuclear weapons. Like, it's getting crazy. And guess what? Right now, you want to know where our president's focus is at? Right now, it's on pardoning his son, Hunter Biden. Check this out.
Ever been? No. Anyway, with Hunter Biden expected to be sentenced for his gun and tax crimes before the end of the year, many are also wondering if Joe will pardon his son or commute the sentence. Politico is now openly calling on Joe to show mercy to his own son. Here with reaction, Fox News contributor Charlie Hurt and America's next ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. Good to see you both. Ambassador to be, I hope. Mike Huckabee, congratulations again. You know, I became very close friends with somebody that I know you know, Alice Marie Johnson, and love her dearly. I know this was the woman, one-time drug offender. Donald Trump either commuted or pardoned her, whatever, commuted the sentence. And I'll never forget that moment where she went running out into the arms of her family. She never thought she'd get out of prison. So she started her own ministry there. And she would help young girls that were getting out and help them, guide them to get them on the right road.
That's beautiful.
I would like to see the transformation of the use of the presidential pardon. Maybe it's a Hannity idea that people like. I like it. Let Alice Marie Johnson find every person in jail that doesn't belong there and say once a week, Donald Trump makes an announcement, I'm going to pardon this person or that person. What are your thoughts, and what do you think Joe should do with Hunter?
Hunter Biden.
Politically, it's a disaster because nobody ever supports any commutation or clemency action, whether it's a governor or a president. They just don't. They will say they will, but they don't. The truth is Donald Trump showed a level of courage that very few presidents have ever shown. He didn't wait till his last day and let go with a lot of his buddies and friends that were in the clink. What he did was create an incredibly powerful program called First Step that recognized that some people don't need to be in prison anymore. It's a very expensive process. And so he created a program that looked at sentences, some that were way too long, and he actually started giving people what every person in prison needs to keep from just becoming unglued, and that's hope. Donald Trump did something that defied political gravity in that, and thank God for it.
What do you think about Hunter and Joe? And then we'll ask about what Trump should do if Joe doesn't pardon his son or commute his sentence.
I would hope that he looks at the facts, and if there's something that is untoward in the sentence, then sure, consider it. But don't do it just as a symbolic measure. There are a lot of people who have been in prison since the January 6th convictions. Some of them deserve to be there because they committed crimes. They struck a police officer. They vandalized government property. They threatened people. That's different. But there were people who just walked around that day, and within months, they had the FBI banging on their door. They went to trial. Some of them were put in jail for months on end without any type of adjudication. And there are people that have no business having a felony conviction as a result of simply walking around at the invitation of the Capitol Police. And there are some people who are in prison, not just for that, but other things, that really are serving no particular purpose for remaining in there and having a felony conviction.
Charlie, do you like my Alice Marie Johnson idea, pardon a week, find people in jail that have either served their time or are deserving to get out? And what do you think that Joe Biden should and will do regarding his son? And if he doesn't do anything for his son, should Donald Trump consider it?
Well, of course, I always love, all Americans love redemption stories. They love stories about people who get a second chance and do something great with it. I think it's a marvelous idea. Obviously, you run into all kinds of problems doing that. But if you were to do it in a cautious, sensible way, I think it would be, like I say, I think that, Americans love stories like that. I think it could be very inspiring. In terms of, obviously commuting or removing Hunter Biden's sentence is not something, it's not fair, it's not just. But in a lot of ways, I kind of would be surprised if Joe Biden doesn't do that. There would be no incentive for Donald Trump to do that. But, and I feel like in a lot of ways, Joe Biden, everything that Hunter Biden has made of his life has been sort of in service of his father. And in a lot of ways, I kind of feel like his father is almost, you think about what he used his son for, running him as a bag man for the family's influence peddling scam all these years. It's sort of, I wouldn't commute the guy's sentence. I wouldn't pardon him, but I certainly think that his father is probably just as, if not more guilty than Hunter Biden is for a lot of the jams that he's gotten himself, legal jams that he's gotten himself into.
Well, if Republicans were like Democrats, they would, weaponize the justice system and go after Joe after he leaves office. Let me ask you both, I have about 40 seconds for each of you. What do you think of the idea of a Kamala comeback, Governor Huckabee? And, or do Do you think she would run for governor? And don't you think that Gavin Newsom has in the back of his head he wants to be in that Oval Office? Problem is, he has the same policies he supports as Kamala.
Well, first of all, it would be a gift to the Republicans, and I hope she runs for something because it's just really wonderful. Maybe she'll get another $1 billion and blow through that like she did her presidential campaign. But the difference is nobody's going to hand her the nomination. But she's gonna have to run even if for governor, and she's not going to get a free ride all the way to the nomination without having some competition. So
not this time.
Good luck, Kamala. Hope it works out for you because I think most every Republican will love to face you again.
Guys, I'm telling you, like, this stuff is getting real. So check this out. So this news just broke a while ago. I want to show you it because to me, this is important. As things break, I want to show you this. But I want to say thank you so much to Judy Lynn Loving Spirit for gifting 5 True Life News memberships. Let's go. And Bonnie Doolin, welcome to the fam. Y'all show them some love in the chat. Listen to what Senator Marsha Blackburn, who's from Tennessee, let's go, baby, said that she plans to introduce a bill to freeze federal salaries and hiring until Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy Department of Government Efficiency recommendations are implemented. Let me know if you approve this or not. Check this out.
You're looking forward to that. I've had legislation to do across-the-board spending cuts, and it's hard to get that passed and get that agreement. I also have legislation that would freeze federal salaries and freeze federal hiring until we can get some of these recommendations from DOJ put into place.
Like, how amazing would that be, guys? Because I'm going to tell you this. You know how corrupt things are? So just in, Nancy Pelosi's net worth has reportedly reached an all-time high of $264 million. This woman is literally worth $250 million. $250 million. And I bring the receipts. If you look at how much she has made at her highest amount as Speaker of the House, she made $223,500 as Speaker of the House. If you took her salary and for 50 years, you added it all together, and if she never paid taxes, never spent a dime of it, and only saved it all, she would have about $10 million. This is corruption at its finest. That is literally the definition of corruption, and we got to get it out of here. But when you have a strong president, they know what to do, because listen to this. This is what happens whenever you have a strong president. People know not to mess with them. Check it out.
Tariff on top of the tariffs he's already announced. It will continue until the fentanyl manufacturing in China stops and flowing it through Mexico stops. We've just received this from the president of Mexico. She says the migrant caravans are no longer arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border. Some impact already. Governor Mike Huckabee joins me now. Governor, do you think these tariffs are basically a negotiating tool?
Well, they're every bit of that, but they're a serious reflection of Donald Trump's big boy attitude. Listen, he is no oil can Harry who's going to show up with a little lubricating oil to just make the machinery of a bloated bureaucracy run smoother. He's coming to play and play big. Yes. And that's why people voted for him. It's why I love the guy. He just doesn't come in and say, what do y'all think I should do? He knows what he wants to do, and he's going to get it done. Keeping some promises about immigration and drugs, things that are killing this country. He's going to get it fixed, and he isn't going to wait until January the 20th to let people know. And we're already seeing the results. The announcement from the president of Mexico sort of says, yep, he's coming. We better get ready.
Immediate reaction there. Governor, a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah looks to be imminent. You're President-elect Trump's nominee for U.S. ambassador to Israel. The truth, this is my opinion, that this truce seems to favor Israel. Is that how you see it?
Well, I'm speaking individually, not for the president-elect, and certainly not for the country right now, because I'm not confirmed. But I would say I agree with you, and frankly, I hope it does affect Israel in a more positive way, because it should. They didn't attack Hezbollah. Hezbollah has been attacking them with relentless rockets and missiles and destroying villages and communities in Israel. They've been doing it with an intention to kill civilians. So yes, I hope it does. But more importantly, I hope that when Donald Trump takes office, and I fully believe he will reinstitute the successful policy he had of maximum pressure on the Iranian government. That's where Hezbollah's funding mostly comes from, as does the funding for Hamas and the Houthis. The Biden administration's failure to bankrupt the Iranians is the reason we have so much total disaster in the Middle East right now.
All change, all kinds of policies change. And with Iran, it's obvious. I think they see him coming. Governor?
Guys, and I'm telling you, people are moving. The Trump effect is real. Like what we're seeing across the board, it's 100% happening because Trump is in office. Listen to what Trudeau says about within 12 hours of Trump calling on the tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Listen to this.
Bonjour tout le monde. I had a good call with Donald Trump last night again. We obviously talked about laying out the facts, talking about how the intense and effective connections between our two countries flow back and forth. We talked about some of the challenges that we can work on together. It was a good call. This is something that we can do, laying out the facts, moving forward in constructive ways. This is a relationship that we know takes a certain amount of working on, and that's what we'll do. One of the really important things is that we be all pulling together on this. The Team Canada approach is what works. That's where, putting aside partisanship, that's where I reached out immediately to Doug Ford to agree with him that we would have a First Ministers meeting this week to talk about the United States. I talked with François Legault and some other premiers as well. There's work to do, but we know how to do it.
You hear that crap, guys? Oh, it literally bothers me so much. Because as soon, Duke, within 12 hours, Mexican president, Prime Minister of Canada, just 100% jump on the phone. Trump, please don't put these tariffs on us. And he's like, well, what have y'all been doing this past 4 years? Y'all been letting all these people in. They came through y'all's countries. Y'all need to be held accountable. Oh, we're going to meet now. We're going to hold meetings. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We know how to stop it. And look. They're already stopping caravans. They're already holding meetings to make sure that no more illegals come through their borders and come into the United States. That's what having the power and doing it in the right way matters, guys. I love it. And this is big. I mean, as we're going through and we're getting more of this data, I just love it and appreciate all your support. Check it out.
Time for the hot topic of the hour. President-elect Trump says he will issue a day one executive order slapping tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China until they stop the flow of illegal immigrants and fentanyl into America. Fox News' Madeline Rivera is live in Washington this morning with more. Madeline.
Hi, good morning, Maria. This could all have a major impact on trade. The threats are also the biggest indication yet that President-elect Trump intends to move forward with a tough talk he espoused during the campaign trail. He wrote on Truth Social, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. Trump also says we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff above any additional tariffs on all of their many products coming into the United States of America. He's accusing Chinese leaders of failing to follow through on its promises to impose the maximum penalty for drug dealers. Canada, Mexico, and China are the top three largest trading partners of the United States, so the tariffs could have implications for several industries like automakers, farmers, and food packagers. The reaction from international leaders was swift. A spokesman at the Chinese embassy in Washington says China believes that China-U.S. economic and trade cooperation is mutually beneficial in nature. No one will win a trade war or a tariff war. It's unclear, though, if Trump intends to follow through with the tariffs or if the rhetoric is intended as a negotiating tool. Canada's deputy prime minister says they'll continue to discuss immigration with the incoming administration, adding Canada places the highest priority on border security and the integrity of our shared border. It's an example of how governments and companies are rethinking their strategies in the wake of Trump's re-election. Maria.
All right, Madeline, thanks very much. Maddie Rivera there. Here's what Trump's incoming Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, told me about Trump's approach to tariffs.
Donald Trump's ready on day one. When he wins, January 20th, he's going to hit the ground running, and it's going to be a growth agenda. Tariffs are going to be part of that. He was the original tariff man, and he did it to raise revenues and to protect American industry. Donald Trump has added the negotiating leg, and I think given Donald Trump's credibility on tariffs from Trump 1.0, he will hit the ground running on 2.0, and world leaders and business executives will know he means business.
Oh, yeah, and he's keeping that promise with this announcement overnight, Chris, that he's going to be slapping. These are additional tariffs that we expected anyway on China. And, of course, Mexico and Canada, he's got the USMCA deal in place, but he's got the right to renegotiate that, and it looks like he's going to do just that, Chris.
As he should. It's already working, Marie. We already heard that the Chinese car company saying we don't want to build another factory in Mexico because we're concerned how Trump will perceive it. It's showing us that he's using it as a negotiating tactic. It's working extraordinarily well. And frankly, if the U.S. cars are having 100% import in China, it's still disproportionate. This is going to tighten up the border. This is going to stop that flow of illegal drugs. These things that he ran upon. And he has the power to do it, and I think he's willing to use this stick, and I think we'll land at a lower percentage rate, but I think some tariffs are completely appropriate.
Jonathan, it's amazing to me how everybody's getting in line. Even before Trump gets in office, you're seeing a think twice about having a Chinese factory in Mexico narrative going on there in Mexico. You've got the Russians saying, I'm ready for a reset with America. You've got a handful of companies in America saying, I'm going to take my supply chains out of China and build everything in America.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's all these people, particularly on the left, that look at President Trump and say, oh, wow, he's lost his mind. What is he doing? He's doing something when the left has done nothing for the last 4 years to address what he's trying to do. So I commend the president in terms of what he's doing. But also keep in mind that these tariffs, they're level playing field tariffs, right? These countries are also imposing tariffs on our country as well. So, it doesn't just flow one way. The other thing is China has been long overdue for tariffs to be going up. They have lied, cheated, stolen, flooded the market since 1999 at least. They need to be held accountable. I don't think 10% is high enough, Maria.
Wow. Cheryl, what do you think?
Look, 80% of exports from Canada and Mexico combined come to the United States. To say that these two countries are concerned about these threats is an understatement of the morning. But I will also add that it's reported that Justin Trudeau actually called Donald Trump yesterday, about 2 hours after this announcement. They've got to be very nervous, and they should be. As far as China, look, China has continued to sell the chemicals that make fentanyl. They sell it to the cartels. The cartels move it to the United States, and we have a fentanyl crisis and more than 200 deaths per day in this nation. It has to stop. Enough is enough. And if this is the way to do it, whether it's a threat or whether it goes through, fine. The other component of this is the price, the consumer prices. Are they going to go up? Yeah, you know what? Maybe they will. But I think it's up now to these two countries and to China as well to come back to the negotiating table. And by the way, does Mexico really want to continue to be the back door for China? Ask yourself that. Or are you more concerned about the neighbor right to your north, the United States of America, who now have a new administration who is done with you and your border situation?
Well, we'll see. Cowen and Company is writing about how Trump did it. He announced it on a post last night. Trump, in his social media post Monday night, threatens the 25% tariff on Canada, Mexico, and a 10% tariff on China on January 20th. Scott Bessent has talked about this on the many times that he's joined us on this program. And he also discussed the lawfare against then candidate Trump and the impact on the dollar after Trump's former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, Kevin Hassett, told me nobody will want to buy treasuries in America if Donald Trump was found guilty in these legal cases and handcuffed. Watch this.
But we are starting to see foreign central banks moving out of the dollar. We have never run deficits like this before, either in peacetime or during when we didn't have a recession. So we depend on foreigners to fund those deficits, and if they stop, then interest rates go higher, which is what we've seen here. Yeah. And the spectacle of a former president being the hold away would not help anyone's confidence. And I think that the American people, people abroad don't believe that this is anything but a show trial.
And of course, all of those charges at this point have been dropped, and we are expecting they are going away now, Chris, forever. But we'll see. We wanted to show you what Scott Bessent has said on this program, not only about tariffs and the economic policy that he is going to shepherd through, but also his thoughts on all of this lawfare that has happened to Trump in the last several years, Chris.
I think this guy is showing why he's the perfect choice to take this job, right? He's even keeled, he's thoughtful, he's respected. I mean, who works for Soros and is still respected by both sides like this guy is? It's incredible. And I think his insights are right. It's all based on confidence. It's all based on leadership. And if we can't have confidence in our leaders, Trump's going to be put in jail on some trumped-up charges. I think the fact that it's gone away is good for our country. And I think the equities market and the bond market are both going to respond extraordinarily positively to this.
Well, let's be clear. President Trump will have broad presidential authority to deal with international economic emergencies and international friends. And that's something he knows very well, and he's expecting to implement it. We're just getting started.
Guys, they're just getting started. But I wanted to show you this because this, to me, this is about the dumbest thing I feel like I would show on this channel. And it just bothers me because this is the news. The Arizona finally certifies the election after 20 days. California count continues. This is the election. They finally certified it 100%. Trump kicked Kamala Harris's butt. 52.2 to 46.7. Wasn't even close. Almost 200,000 votes difference. But it's so sad that it literally takes almost 3 weeks for the United States of America to count for a state, and they're not even done in California. Like, I don't even know what they're doing. They're probably working an hour a day or something. But listen to what Trump says is going to happen once he gets into office to make sure this never happens again. Check it out.
We're going to straighten out our elections. We're going to do a lot of great things. We're going to try and go to paper ballots as soon as possible. Voter ID, one day elections. You know, we have these elections that last for 62 days, and if you need some more time, take as much time as you want, and so many bad things happen. We have to get rid of mail-in ballots, because once you have mail-in ballots, you have crooked elections. Actually, Jimmy Carter's commission said that a long time ago.
You hear that? Voter ID, one-day voting, no mail-in ballots, all paper ballots, 100% legitimate. That's what we need. And I feel like we're going to get there. I feel like they got the right administration. I love that even with Marsha Blackburn, who said that, hey, let's just put a freeze on all the federal salaries until we, implement some savings. Let's make sure to start cutting before we continue adding. And I just love I love the dream team, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But I just want to say thank you so much for your support. Thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so I can serve you every day with the top news. And thank you so much to all of our members of the channel. If you want to be a member, link is in the description to join, as well as to follow me on X. Guys, we couldn't do this without you. Y'all are so amazing. I'm so excited for where things are going. I want to say, give some shout outs to Andy, What's New, B1 Sly One, Judy Lynn Loving Spirit, Bonnie Doolin. Y'all show them some love in the chat, everybody. We just appreciate y'all so much. We're so grateful to serve you every day with the top news. We are here for you. Hope you got value out of this, and we're going to continue serving you every single day. Remember, we're going to do 2 shows on the day before Thanksgiving. We're going to do a short show on the day of Thanksgiving because, we're spending time with family and whatnot. And then we'll continue normal after Thanksgiving. 2 shows on Friday, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Love you all. Appreciate you so much. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.